They're breaking free of this to be with you, the person you feel stuck with. What if the silence was never about you? Right now, somewhere in this world, the person you cannot stop thinking about is sitting with your name written across their heart, afraid, conflicted, and carrying feelings they haven't found the courage to speak aloud yet. You've questioned everything. You've wondered if what you felt was real. You've asked yourself 1,000 times whether to hold on or finally let go. The silence has been deafening. The waiting has been exhausting, and the uncertainty has shaken you to your core. But here is what nobody has told you yet. This person hasn't forgotten you. They haven't moved on. They haven't stopped feeling. They are simply drowning in circumstances you cannot fully see, fighting battles you were never meant to witness, standing at the edge of a decision that could change everything between you. What they are about to do next will surprise you. What they truly feel about you will move you. And what is coming for this connection will finally give you the clarity you have been desperately searching for. Stay with me, because what comes next will answer every question your heart has been too afraid to ask. In the vast tapestry of human connection, there exist bonds that defy simple explanation. These are the relationships that haunt our quiet moments, that whisper to us in the space between waking and sleeping, that leave fingerprints on our souls long after the touch has faded. For those born under the Archer's sign, this reading speaks to one such connection, a relationship suspended in time, wrapped in complexity yet pulsing with undeniable emotion. Somewhere in the world there exists a person whose absence weighs heavily upon your heart. This individual, likely grounded in the steadfast energy of Earth, perhaps a Capricorn with their mountain-climbing determination, a Taurus with their deep-rooted loyalty, or a Virgo with their quietly observant nature, has retreated into a space you cannot easily reach. Their silence may feel like abandonment, their distance like rejection, but the truth runs far deeper than surface appearances suggest. This person has not withdrawn because their feelings have diminished. They have not stepped back because you no longer matter. Instead, they find themselves entangled in circumstances that demand their attention, caught in the grip of toxic influences that drain their energy and cloud their clarity. Picture someone standing in the middle of a storm, arms wrapped around themselves, trying desperately to find shelter while the winds howl around them. This is the reality your person currently navigates. The chaos surrounding them is not of their choosing. Whether this toxicity comes from family dynamics that suffocate, friendships that manipulate, or circumstances that overwhelm, this person is fighting battles you may not fully see or understand. Their withdrawal from you is not a closing of the heart, but rather a desperate attempt to find stable ground before reaching out their hand to pull you closer. They know, somewhere in the depths of their being, that they cannot offer you what you deserve while they themselves are drowning. Something profound is stirring within this person's consciousness. Call it spiritual awakening, call it enlightenment, call it the moment when scales fall from eyes that have been blind for too long. Whatever name you give it, transformation is occurring. They are beginning to see the truth about the people and situations that have held them captive. The fog is lifting, and with each passing day, clarity emerges like the sun breaking through heavy clouds after a long and relentless storm. This awakening is painful. Growth always is. They are confronting uncomfortable truths about those they trusted, recognizing patterns of behavior that have kept them small and afraid, and slowly gathering the courage to step away from what no longer serves their highest good. In this process of becoming, you remain a constant thought, a lighthouse in the distance, steady and bright, reminding them that somewhere beyond the storm peace exists. Their realizations are not just about external circumstances, but also about their own behavior, their own fears, their own failures to show up fully for the connection you share. The mirror of self-reflection can be brutal, showing us not who we wish to be, but who we have actually been. Your person is looking into that mirror now, and what they see brings both regret and determination. Regret for what has been lost or damaged, determination to become worthy of the love that still flickers between you like an eternal flame refusing to be extinguished. Within the chambers of this person's heart lives a profound sadness, a grief for something that still breathes but feels beyond reach. They miss you with an intensity that surprises even themselves. Your absence has created a void that no distraction can fill, no busyness can mask, no amount of time can heal. They feel the loss of your presence like a phantom limb, something essential that should be there but isn't, something they reach for in vulnerable moments, only to grasp empty air. The love they carry for you is not diminished with distance. If anything, separation has clarified its depth. They understand now, perhaps more than ever before, exactly what you mean to them. You are not simply someone they dated or connected with casually. You represent something rare and precious, a mirror for their soul, a home for their wandering heart, a person who saw beneath the surface and recognized the truth of who they really are. Yet alongside this love lies fear, cold, paralyzing fear of rejection. They imagine reaching out to you only to be met with silence. They picture themselves vulnerable and exposed, offering their heart, only to have it handed back with indifference. The thought of your rejection feels unbearable, because losing you once was devastating enough. They cannot fathom surviving it twice. So they hesitate. They compose messages they never send. They pick up the phone only to set it down again. They rehearse conversations in their mind, imagining every possible response, analyzing every potential outcome, and while they remain trapped in this cycle of wanting and fearing, time continues to pass, and the distance between you grows not because love has failed, but because courage has not yet fully arrived. For you, dear Sagittarius, this situation has become a prison of uncertainty. Your naturally free spirit, your need for truth and clarity, your desire for forward movement, all of these essential parts of your being feel constrained and frustrated. You are not built for limbo. You are not designed to wait in shadows, wondering and hoping and questioning. You need answers. You need direction. You need to know whether to hold on or let go. The waiting feels endless. Each day without resolution weighs upon you, and you find yourself caught between memories of what was and uncertainty about what could be. You replay conversations, analyze behaviors, search for meaning in the smallest details. Your mind becomes both prosecutor and defender, building cases for hope and despair in equal measure. What you want from this person is simple yet profound. You want accountability. You want them to acknowledge what has transpired between you, to take responsibility for their part in the confusion and pain. You want to see evidence of growth, proof that the time apart has meant something, that lessons have been learned and changes have been made. You want them to step forward with clarity and intention, to stop dancing around the edges of commitment and finally declare what they truly want. Most importantly, you want to stop feeling invisible. The silence has made you question your worth, your desirability, your place in this person's heart. You wonder if you imagined the connection, if you invested in something that existed only in your own mind. These doubts are natural but unfounded. The bond is real. The love is genuine. The silence is not about your value, but about their struggle. If you could see yourself through this person's eyes, you might be surprised by what you discover. They perceive you as someone who is withdrawn, someone who has built walls and stationed guards at the gates of your heart. They see your silence not as patience, but as indifference. They interpret your distance not as self-protection, but as moving on. This misperception haunts them. They wonder if you have found happiness without them, if you have discovered that life is better in their absence, if you have realized that you deserve more than they could offer. The possibility that you are thriving without them brings both relief and devastation. Relief because your happiness matters to them genuinely. Devastation because they wanted to be part of that happiness. They sense that you are watching, waiting, observing from a careful distance. They feel your energy even in silence, aware that you have not completely closed the door, but have not left it wide open either. This awareness keeps hope alive within them while simultaneously increasing their fear. The stakes feel impossibly high. One wrong move, one misinterpreted message, one moment of poor timing could end everything forever. The connection between you carries the weight and intensity of something destined, a twin flame dynamic where two souls recognize each other across crowded rooms and lifetimes. This recognition brings both profound comfort and significant challenge. You see each other clearly, perhaps too clearly. You mirror each other's wounds and potential, triggering both healing and discomfort. In the beginning, boundaries were unclear. Perhaps the relationship was never properly defined, living in that ambiguous space between casual connection and deep commitment. Someone maintained distance under the guise of freedom, keeping options open while enjoying the benefits of closeness. This ambiguity served as protection against vulnerability, but ultimately created the very pain both parties sought to avoid. Commitment issues cast long shadows over this connection. Whether stemming from past trauma, fear of failure, or simple immaturity, the inability to fully invest has been a recurring obstacle. Yet beneath the resistance to commitment lives a desperate longing for exactly that: a safe harbor, a permanent home, a love that requires no explanation or defense. If this person could sit before you with complete honesty, stripped of fear and pretense, their words might break your heart open while simultaneously healing it. They would tell you that independence has been both their greatest strength and their most significant barrier to love. They have built a life that functions without reliance on others, a fortress of self-sufficiency that keeps them safe but also keeps them lonely. They would admit that career and ambition have consumed attention that should have been directed toward love. The pursuit of success and security became an excuse to avoid the vulnerability that true intimacy demands. Yet in quiet moments, surrounded by achievements that feel hollow, they understand that no accomplishment compares to the peace of being truly known and accepted by another soul. Their deepest confession would be regret. Regret for hesitation, for fear, for choosing safety over love. They wish they could return to pivotal moments and choose differently. They would hold on instead of pulling away. They would speak instead of remaining silent. They would commit instead of keeping one foot perpetually outside the door. Despite all obstacles, communication is coming. This person's silence will break, their paralysis will end, and they will reach across the distance that separates you. Whether through a simple message, a phone call heavy with unspoken words, or a request to meet face to face, they will make their presence known again. This reaching out comes not from a place of casual interest, but from genuine need. The isolation they have experienced has taught them what your presence means. The loneliness has illuminated how much brighter life becomes when shared with someone who understands your soul. What unfolds from this point forward depends on choices both of you will make. Obstacles remain. Old patterns that must be consciously broken, fears that must be faced with courage, priorities that may need restructuring. Yet the potential for genuine resolution exists. The story is not finished. The final chapter has not been written.